guys, it's Will from Going Awesome Places, and I'm in the Czech Republic and currently in Prague. Well, why do you ask? Well, in the next couple days, a huge travel blogging conference called TBEX is going to be happening in the neighboring city of Ostrava. A ton of bloggers are converging on this spot as we speak. But since this is my first time, I wanted to give you an inside look into what it's like to be at a conference like this, whether it's your first time or your 10th time. So one of the main reasons why I decided to come to TBEX Europe in 2018 was because it gave me an opportunity to come back to the Czech Republic. And so I came here a little bit earlier to the city of Prague to explore more and, for better for worse, see some of the touristy things, but also explore different parts of the city that I didn't get to before. And of course, to come to the Travel Massive pre-TBEX party. After a couple days in Prague, it was finally time to head over to the city of Ostrava. And so I caught a train with RegioJet and was lucky to be able to sit in their business class, which was pretty freaking awesome. And less than 3.5 hours later, I finally made it to the city and it welcomed us with open arms. And of course, the first thing I needed to do was check into Campus Palace, where I'd be staying for the next 4 nights. Now, arriving just a little bit too late to register, I still went to the new city hall to get up to the tower there and got great panoramic views of the entire city of Ostrava. You'll learn that TBEXers are pretty easy to spot, and so I caught up with a few and had some dinner near the town square. The next day I was really excited because it was finally time to start my TBEX experience with what's called a PreBEX. And so a PreBEX is essentially various tours that are operated by the tourism board to give TBEXers a real opportunity to see what the region is like. And the one that I got to go on was called Moravian Bethlehem and Town of Hats, where I got a chance to make new friends and try on some funny hats. And when we came back, it was finally time for the opening night party, which marked the official opening of TBEX Europe 2018 with food, entertainment, and drinks. If you haven't noticed yet, something that looks straight out of a sci-fi novel is the Lower Vítkovice area in Ostrava, a revitalized former steelworks and coal mining complex. And in the heart of it all is this giant gas container converted into an auditorium and event space. There was genuine excitement in the air for our first day at TBEX here in Ostrava. And for those that don't know, TBEX stands for Travel Blog Exchange, and it brings all these bloggers together in Europe once a year. We started the morning in the main hall with the welcome and opening keynote with Yaya and Lloyd of Hand Luggage Only, where they told us their story. And after that, we got into conference mode, where we got a chance to grab some coffee and snacks and leverage the relax zone to have some great conversation, and then jumping straight into the sessions, whether it was learning about social media, video, or search engine marketing. Lunch, of course, was included and gave us a chance to meet new people and have great conversation. The sessions and breakout sessions continued into the afternoon, and there was also an opportunity to participate in something called speed networking, a way to have one-on-one conversations with brands and destinations 8 minutes at a time. Of course, it wasn't all business though, as we got a chance to try something called Cryptomania, where we got into teams and ran around the city of Ostrava to solve clues and challenges to see who would come out on top. And just like that, our 2 days at TBEX were over, with the closing ceremonies and keynote having made really great connections, new friends, and a whole lot of learning. So it's the end of the day here. TBEX has pretty much wrapped up. So how did you feel about the conference, man?
Oh man, it's my first time. It was both our first time, which was one of the big things that kind of, I think, drew us together. I loved it. I'm very new to this whole industry. I've really only been making videos for a little over half a year, and it hasn't been super serious.
Super fresh. Really good stuff.
Yeah, so I don't know anyone in the industry. I don't know anything about how to market it and stuff. So like, I really just came here to learn as much as possible and meet as many people as possible. And I think
mission accomplished.
Yeah, exceeded.
This is my first TBEX, as I told you guys, and it's been 6 years of blogging. First time out here. I do know a lot of people, but it's weird in that, like, you kind of know all these personalities online, you've read their blogs, you're in these Facebook groups, but then to meet them in person is just so special. I mean, I think you have a vision of kind of what they're going to be like, but I think meeting them in person is just a way you get to know them at a different level, and they're even friendlier than what I thought they'd be, right?
Well, one of the coolest things for me was meeting, like the guys from Hand Luggage Only. I mean, they're massive. and I've got
humble.
like 350 subs, and they're
Yeah.
sitting here giving me advice and like giving me the time of day. And
That's
not that I expected big bloggers not to be like that, but
Yeah.
it's so cool to see that they are generally, super humble and super friendly
Yeah,
and
for sure.
open to just talk to people and share what they know.
Well, so curious, like before, when you first registered for TBEX,
Yeah.
what did you expect it was going to be like? Like, did you have any thoughts of like,
I had a few, only because I'd actually read blogs about it.
Okay,
They're like
yeah,
first
yeah.
time at TBEX. It was like, make sure you bring at least 200 business cards, make sure you don't stand in a corner, make sure you go talk to people, make sure you meet people. And so I kind of had this expectation of a very kind of hectic but full of learning kind of weekend. And honestly, it was right, So I think it went well.
yeah, well, so will you be back?
Definitely.
One of the best parts about this is, just having that human-to-human interaction with people. You just don't really get that when you're at home, editing
Yeah.
and at a coffee shop. So, while we're in our cave back home, this is like the one
really.
one chance to a couple times a year where we have these special events to come out and meet people in person, to have real conversations,
Yeah.
to just small things like, I mentioned, I think TubeBuddy to you or vidIQ.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something that you might not have heard about
Never even
before,
heard
but
about.
it's those small conversations and snippets that I think really, really matter. As much as the sessions, the keynotes were really, really good. Like we
Absolutely.
learned a lot. They were inspirational. But for me, it was really about these kind of connections. And
Yeah, for sure.
we met kind of on the first day.
Yeah.
We've been partying pretty much all the way through at TBEX.
That's been good.
And all the other folks that we met. So
Yeah.
it's been fun.
That was another thing for me, because you have been in the industry and you do know people better than I do. For me, it's like I've met one successful blogger before this, ever. I don't think I've ever met unsuccessful bloggers either. I just haven't really met any bloggers or vloggers for that matter. So being able to come here and, because you watch the YouTube videos, right? You watch the Hey Nadine's, the Fun for Louis, the Lost LeBlanc. You watch them and you're like, they're these, celebrity crazy, whatever. Exactly. And coming here and seeing people, and they're just people. Everyone's just people, And it's like, oh,
Yeah, and
it's possible.
And did you feel like meeting all these people kind of gave you more inspiration that
Oh.
wait, all these people are successful. They're all they've been
100%.
growing with the blog, growing their YouTube channels. and,
100%.
It's possible. It's not
And
a
everyone
dream.
was in the same spot.
Yeah.
Some people might have studied communications or marketing or whatever. And you have a leg up in certain areas, but I feel like a lot of us just were like, I want to do this. I don't know anything.
Yeah.
I studied chemistry,
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I knew nothing about anything, and I'm just, so much knowledge has come from this conference for sure.
yeah, so
but-
good. Thanks for joining me on this,
Yeah.
this talking about your experience here. It's
Yeah,
really
no
cool
worries.
to hear a perspective of, somebody that's new in the business, new to the conference, and I feel like I'm myself and just a newbie
Yeah.
as well.
Well, it's
so.
cool meeting someone that's not new to the business, but is new to the conference. That's pretty cool too.
So cool dynamic there. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this chat. We're gonna head over to the party, but before we go, make sure you check out Victor's stuff. I'm gonna be linking all of his videos in the description, so make sure you check it out. What he did was basically a full vlog of the past 2 days of what it was like to be at TBEX. So that's gonna give you a cool other perspective of things. But off to the party.
Sweet.
Oh, and was it time to party? Well, I hope you found this walkthrough of the TBEX 2018 experience super helpful. I certainly really loved being at TBEX. It certainly blew my expectations out of the water. I think coming into TBEX, originally I thought, okay, it's really geared towards beginners. I might not be able to get that much out of it. But to be honest, really it was two things that really impressed me. One, the people. TBEX is really about building long-lasting friendships with bloggers from all over the world. You spend so much of your time working in a coffee shop and being on your own. To be able to meet all these incredible talents in person, to be able to exchange ideas, to just chat about life and how things are going, to have somebody to be able to relate to the work that you're doing, it's really, really special. And the second part is really about the sessions themselves. Yes, they were a bit beginner focused, but I came out of it with a lot of great ideas, things that I should have actioned a long time ago. So really a good kick in the butt to do that, and just new ideas that I never really thought about. So those were definitely worthwhile. So anyways, this is Will from Going Awesome Places, and I'll see you next time. Oh, and how can I forget the awesome crew I was with for the post-TBEX fam trips that happened, where we got a chance to see the best of the Beskidi Mountains.
Obviously, that wouldn't be appropriate for this, maybe.
That would be a little weird, but...
Yeah, are we recording?
Yeah, we are.
Oh,
It's fine. It's like...
TBEX.
TBEX.
You're gonna be famous. Finally.